Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about yarn dominance in color work. I love color, and when you're doing color work, you want to make sure that the correct color pops. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, today we're going to talk about yarn dominance in your color work. And what that refers to is when you're doing stranded work, working with two colors, one color is going to pop or be more dominant than the other. When you're stranding two colors, one of your yarns is going to be positioned slightly below the other one, and the yarn that's below tends to be the dominant color or the one that has more pop. I think the key with this is that when you're holding your yarns, let's say you hold yarns in two different hands, or maybe you use one finger but you position the yarns differently on your finger, you need to be very consistent with where you position those yarns and how you hold them. So let's take a look at my example here. When I work this bottom part, I do stranded knitting and I use two different fingers. And so down here, I held the tan yarn over my right finger and I held the brown yarn over my left finger. And I was consistent with that. So when you stare at this part of the work, the brown is the color that pops out. So the yarn in your left hand is the one that sort of travels underneath and is the yarn that pops. I have read a lot of different articles and heard a lot of different people talk about this, why that's the case. And sometimes their answers even conflict. All I know is it's really true. I would say 99.9% of my students, in my experience, this is true, that the yarn that travels underneath and is held in your left hand or off to the left is the dominant color. Up here, you can see that the cream pops just a little bit more. It's very subtle. I know it's very subtle, and it depends on the colors you're using, how you knit, how tight you knit, how loose you knit. But up here, I held the cream color in my left and the brown in my right, and the cream tends to pop out just a little bit more. I think the key on this is just to be consistent. If you start a project and you have one color to the right and one color to the left, finish your project, the whole project that way. So I like to make a note on my pattern of how I'm holding the colors, because I like to think I'm going to remember, but I might not. The other thing you can do when you swatch is try it one way, and if you don't like the way the colors are popping, you want it to look a little bit like, say you wanted the brown to pop, but the cream won't seem to be popping more, then you just switch fingers and give it a try. So let's look at the back of these, and remember the bottom one, the brown was in my left, the top one, the cream was in my left. So let's turn it inside out. And let's take a look at the inside. And here's where you can really see the difference. And so the bottom one, where the brown was in my left hand, you can see that the brown runs under the cream. And this is what you want. You want it consistent through the whole project. And up here, the brown is on the top. So the brown actually pops on the back of the top and on the front of the bottom. So anyway, so be consistent with how you hold your colors. Like I said, it's very subtle, but it's a thing, and play around with it. You are the boss of your knitting. You can be the master of yarn dominance. Thanks for watching. In addition to these free YouTube videos, I also have some paid courses, and I've just reduced the prices. So click the link below, check them out. Also, leave a comment and let me know what courses you might want to see in the future.